Well, we take a look at the incredible rainfall that the Milwaukee area saw over the weekend and talking about the activity in the Atlantic. It's starting to become a little more active here with a few systems to monitor. So some incredible rainfall over the weekend in the Milwaukee area here. Huge area that saw a half foot to almost a foot of rainfall, and this will likely be classified as a mega rainfall event. You need 6 inches of rain on average over 1,000 square mile area or more, and it looks as though that qualified. Look at all the rainfall reports here that were in the 8 to 11 inch range across the Milwaukee area. Brookfield, New Berlin, Menominee Falls, all reporting over 11 inches of rain. They had just training thunderstorms. You can see storms developing and then just continuing to develop over the same areas, producing these torrential downpours. That's how you get that to add up to what would be a hurricane type rainfall, tropical rainfall. Had a low level jet stream pumping in that moisture a few thousand feet above the ground as well. That was adding a lot of moisture to the atmospheric column, but of course we had a lot of surface moisture too here across the Midwest and the Central Plains here the last several days. Precipitable water content late Saturday, early Sunday was in the 2 to 3 inch range, and that's a lot of water. So that's the amount of water if you condense it out of the atmospheric column. And in fact, when we look at the normalized anomalies, this is top 1% climatologically for that time of year type of moisture. So that's how you produce a record rainfall. So it started in Twin Cities on Friday. Dew points there set a record at 76. But watch these areas I've circled here, because these are dew points in the mid to upper 70s, even some 80-degree dew points late Saturday across southern Wisconsin. So that's just incredible tropical moisture that helped to fuel these thunderstorms. And we're seeing an increase in these extreme rainfall events. In fact, the Midwest and the Northeast, a 42 to 55% increase in the heaviest precipitation events we're seeing. Climate change is supercharging the atmosphere. Every degree of warming adds more water to the atmosphere. 1 degree, about 4% more water vapor. So it doesn't sound like a lot. A few degrees, that's 12%. But remember, a storm system condenses that moisture into one copious amount of rain or snow. So definitely seeing these rainfalls more frequently than what we used to see 50 to 100 years ago. And that front is going to produce more rainfall here across the central U.S. Not quite on par with what they saw in Milwaukee. But speaking of tropical moisture, we do have a few systems to watch in the Atlantic, in particular, one that is in the formation zone that could affect the Caribbean or the US. These other two systems will kind of continue to drift into the Atlantic, but this is the European model. It is intensifying this system into a hurricane here by the time we head into the weekend and next week. Now, European model keeps it just off the coasts of the US, but obviously this could change. This is 7 to 10 days out. This is the wind gust swath for that storm. These are some intense winds. So European model is going all out here on that tropical system. So we'll have to keep an eye on where that system would be headed. And if it follows this track, or does it move a little further to the west, depending upon the Bermuda High and some other meteorological conditions. Otherwise, for the plains, it's pretty quiet. Just some marginal risk of severe weather. Again, along that front in northern Minnesota, also down into Oklahoma, and then the next couple of days, relatively tame here for severe weather. So the Atlantic may be the more active spot to be watching here over the next week or two.